UFC fan favorite Tony Ferguson is determined to resurrect his career and return to the title race. He recently posted on Instagram, "I feel fully energized. I'm coming for you, champion 2022." At a recent press conference, UFC President Dana White revealed that his next fight will be announced soon. It looks like Michael Chandler has been flirting with the idea of a fight against Tony Ferguson for a long time, and he got it. According to the latest information, both fighters have been given verbal consent to the fight at UFC 274, which will take place on May 7. It is noteworthy that the main event of the evening will be the title fight against Charles Oliveira vs Justin Gaethje. If successful, Chandler or Ferguson may well enter the title race. Maybe someone will say no, he has no chance, and I can't help but agree. But one thing that I'm sure of is that he deserves a money fight with Conor. Like Cowboy in his time, and a fight with Chandler, I think that for Tony, this will be the toughest fight of his career. Tony Ferguson, some love him, some hate him, and some miss his fight. In cowardice or lack of will, Tony was never close to giving up, even when there was no other choice. In fact, only with his strong mentality, he pulled fights like, for example, the fight with Kevin Lee and Danny Castillo. He won against top fighters like RDA and Barbosa, who is one of the best kickers in the division, if not the best. Pettis, who is a former champion who put Pete Thompson on his ass, strangling the current champion. All these fighters, if they were not monsters, then at least any current top 5, except for Makhachev, perhaps would have been given a smock. And Tony, with his not-so-great punching technique, his self-taught jiu-jitsu was grinding these tough guys.
Let's talk about the matchup. Wrestling advantage, I'm going to give it to Michael Chandler. Okay, jiu-jitsu advantage goes to Tony Ferguson. Punching power advantage goes to Michael Chandler, I think without question. He's just got a shorter, stockier frame, so Michael Chandler gets that one. But elbows and knees, that goes to Tony Ferguson. He's an expert at that stuff, okay? He will slice you up with elbows. He uses excellent knees in the clinch. Experience, well, they're both very, very experienced. Miles on the clock, and this is a real one. Right now, Tony has fallen on hard times. Listen, there's no shame in that. I'm not saying that as to Tony's detriment. Tony is a warrior. Tony leaves it in the octagon each and every time. But he's currently on a 3-fight losing streak. However, when you hear that, when you hear the narrative, Tony's lost 3 in a row, when he had won 12 in a row, and I've said it myself in the past, I said, maybe this is the beginning of the end. Maybe now this is on the downslide, coming to the end of his career. Maybe his best days are behind him. But those losses have aged very well when you look at who they are. First one came to Charles Oliveira. As we know, he's now the lightweight champion of the world, looking sensational. Then it was Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje ain't no slouch, man. Justin Gaethje is fighting for the belt. Justin Gaethje may very well be the champion of the world right after Tony fights Michael Chandler. So again, zero shame in that matchup. And then the third one was to Beneil Dariush. Well, once again, Beneil Dariush, one of the best lightweights on the planet, could potentially be a champion one day. Was supposed to have a #1 contender matchup against Islam Makhachev, right? And he could have won that fight. Stylistically, a decent fight for him. Would have been the underdog, but Beneil, you know, he's very, very good. So as I say, when you look at those 3 fights for Tony Ferguson, they've aged very, very well, you know. Now, the thing is with Tony, he does have that warrior style. You know, he will eat a couple to land one. You know, he does wear people down by almost taking punches to his face. You know, he is kind of hittable, but he's so goddamn tough. He's so goddamn tough that he weathers the storm, or he takes the shot and then and then he implements his own game plan. Then he starts to wear down on his opponent, and he wears them down and he drags them down, and then it goes Tony time, baby. And then he's looking for the elbows and the submissions and the Doris chokes, etc. You can never count out Tony Ferguson in a fight.
Ferguson.
Yeah.
Tony's the boogeyman. That nickname, El Kukui, that's a perfect nickname for that guy. That guy's terrifying. He never gets tired.
No.
He never gets tired. Everybody who fights him looks like they fell off a train. It's crazy.
That's the fight everybody has wanted to see.
I think Tony Ferguson is a nightmare for anybody, especially right now. When you watch his fight with Anthony Pettis, when you watch how he busted up Donald Cerrone, I think Tony Ferguson is the scariest guy for anybody at 155 pounds to fight. He doesn't get tired. He fucking has bricks for hands. And I had Josh Thompson in here the other day. And Josh was saying when Tony Ferguson grabs him, you know, he said, you can't believe how big his hands are. He said, he wraps his hands around his wrist. He goes, I couldn't get my hands free. He goes, his fucking hands are so big and strong. That's part of what he does.
I've never been in his presence, so I don't know how.
Tony?
Yeah.
He's a spooky dude. There's something about him. Like, he ain't normal. He's not a normal guy. He's eccentric, but in the good way.
Yeah.
Like, especially when it comes to being a fighter. He does all his own training. He teaches himself. Like, he's got all this crazy shit he does where he does, like, Wing Chun dummies and break dances.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that
Bilal
nobody ever
Muhammad
does.
just did a video. Did you see the video he put out? Kind of a Tony Ferguson tribute workout video in the gym. It was very amusing.
Tony's he's a unique individual. There's no other Tony Ferguson. There's no one that I could even think of that reminds me of Tony Ferguson. No one. He's so different.
The reason for Ferguson plums lies in his illness. Tony started taking pills just after the fight with Pettis, and problems with his family and sustained emotional breakdowns began there, making it difficult to concentrate on his career. With pills, he can still perform at least, but his reaction and attention is already completely dulled. It wasn't age that won the fighter, it was illness. And that's a fact. I think it's worthy of respect, just like in the situation with Cub Swanson when all of his bones were broken but he continues to fight until now at a decent level. Many people think that everything is over for him, but he's still on the line. On March 5, at the UFC 272 tournament, he wanted to replace Rafael Fiziev against Dos Anjos. When Fiziev fell ill with COVID, Ferguson tweeted, "We were offered to fight Rafael Dos Anjos at UFC 272 on short notice. We are more than ready for it. We're also ready to beat that dolt Islam Makhachev last weekend, but never got the call." Of course, Dana knows what he's doing. It's obvious that fans want to see Tony versus Chandler more than Tony versus RDA, but I think that the fight with Chandler is very dangerous for him. If he gets the same damage as he received with Justin Gaethje, as you understand, it will be the end for Tony. Because of that, I personally would like to see Ferguson versus Conor instead. At least, Tony would earn more money. In any case, our team will be rooting for him, and I am sure that many fans around the world want him to win. And we will be following the events and will keep you informed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support this channel.